I don't own the rights to any music that you might hear in the background. Just saying, I don't own the rights to anything. With us get started in this. Yeah, I notice people giving up on this game. It's because they don't download a game you don't understand. If you've never played an MMORPG, you just better off leaving it alone.
We do have the appearance of UFOs and ghosts. They are returning throughout Los Santos this
But
week.
other than that, make sure y'all follow, like, share, and y'all have a great Thursday.
Halloween, like during that week itself, but it seems like that's Rockstar doesn't mention if we have the Halloween weather or not. Right now, it just seems to be the UFOs as well as ghosts that are appearing. And in addition to that, we have the new Ludendorff Cemetery survival game mode that we've been talking about. Of course, we showcased the leaks over the summer of it, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago before the Halloween event actually kicked off here in game, and that is finally dropping tomorrow. And we do have some money bonuses in regards to it. But first, let's talk about the pre-rewards for this week. Players out there who photograph 10 ghosts, they will receive the new Ghost Exposed outfit, as well as the Ghost Exposed livery for the Albany Brigham. And in addition to that, all GTA Plus members will also receive on top of those two rewards the Mummy outfit just for playing the game. So that's pretty cool. It just seems like actually you don't even need to photograph 10 ghosts just for playing the game. You'll get the Mummy outfit if you are a paying member. Now for this week's weekly challenge, players out there who survive a total of 3 waves of the brand new Ludendorff Cemetery survival mode without dying, well, they will be rewarded with the gray creepy cat mask as well as $100,000. So you have to survive 3 waves. You can't die. But once you complete that 3rd wave and you move on to the 4th, you should get that weekly challenge completed. So we'll be checking that creepy cat mask out tomorrow, but you can see a photo of it on the screen as well. Now jumping into all of our money bonuses for this week. Let's get into it because we don't have anything like absolutely incredible, but we do have some new content that's on bonus. So we do have triple money and triple RP on the Halloween Community Series jobs that are dropping, or the missions, you know, the adversary modes, things like that. Halloween Community Series is coming, and we have triple money and triple RP on that. In addition to that, the Ghost Expose event, that of course is re-releasing again tomorrow, is going to be double money and double RP. While Ghost Expose isn't necessarily new content in the game, there's going to be all new ghosts to photograph, with one final one at the end who's going to be a different character. So it's not the exact same event from last year, even if it does have to do with ghosts as well. And then on top of that, the new Ludendorff Cemetery survival game mode is also going to be double money and double RP. So this week, if you're into survivals, well, we don't have alien survivals just yet, you can get double money and double RP on at least the zombie cemetery survival, which is going to be kind of nice right there. Now we'll talk about the discounts for this week. We do have 30% off the Albany Lurcher. Of course, that's continuing. 30% off the Albany Brigham. We have the Albany Frankenstange now here. This is going to be 30% off. This is something we talked about, you know, this was ever going to go on discount if it would be available off in-game websites, because Rockstar featured it as the claimable vehicle last week. And like I said, you know, better safe than sorry. Better claim that Frankenstange if you didn't actually have it unlocked. And if it does get released on in-game websites, well, there you go. You got it for $20,000 or maybe even cheaper at $10,000 last week if you own the document for your office.
The worse the weather, the more you need
it does appear to be on in-game websites starting tomorrow, so it is nice for players who missed out with, you know, the claiming the salvage art robbery vehicle this week. We have the Classy Tornado Rat Rod 30% off again. That's continuing. The LCC Sanctus continues to be 30% off. The Chariot Romero Hearse continues to be 30% off, but we have some other vehicle discounts for this week that are different than last week. And for those, we have the Vapid Rattel 30% off, 30% off the Classy Mamba, 30% off the Weenie Easy Sport, and 30% off the Zirconium Journey 2. Now for our salvage art robberies for this week, these will be
The fuck is this? Soft net.
Classic is going to be this week's top range vehicle for you featured in the
Instantly restores health. Oh, they all restore health.
And then we have the Albany Cavalcade XL standard range vehicle featured in the Gangbanger robbery. Now jumping into this week's 2 free vehicles for the week, we have
This
the
nigga's a weirdo. I'm keeping the
premium.
That nigga's a weirdo.
Prize Ride is the Mypod Penumbra F.
Penguin's dope because he be dancing and shit.
For 3 consecutive days in a row. As always, tomorrow I will have, my weekly update guide showcasing the new changes, new content, things like that. Friday will be my money guide based off of bonuses, my weekly update money guide, and then Saturday I will be talking about that Obey Tailgater S, as well as the MyBot Supernumbra FF prize ride vehicle in my weekly free vehicles guide, where we get to review some cool cars in this game. But continuing on at the LS Car Beat, this week's premium test ride vehicle for those of you guys who are on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S is the Grotti Itali GTO Stinger TT, and then this week's standard vehicles are the S80RR, the Pfister Comet, as well as the Dubachi Rapid GT, and those are for everyone else on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One, including PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. At Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport Car Dealership, we have the following 5 vehicles. We have the Weenie EC Sport, the LCC Sanctus, the Benefactor Shafter LWB, the Shih Tzu Hakucho, as well as the Classy Tornado Rat. So the Rat Rod as well as the Sanctus are continuing from last week at Premium Deluxe. Then in Luxury Autos here, we have featured the Anus Paragon S, as well as the Classy Impaler LX. At the Gun Van, we have featured 50% off the minigun as your main weapon discount, and for the GTA Plus members, only weapon discount, it is the compact EMP launcher, and it will also be 50% off for this week. Honestly, the minigun, if you don't have it, it's an excellent buy. You're going to want to probably use that during the Alien Survival, so make sure to gear up and get that at the Gun Van if you don't already have it already. Now we'll jump into this week's premium race and weekly time trials. Your normal time trial this week is up Chiliad, your HSW time trial is East Vinewood to Vespucci Beach, and your premium race for this week is Sonora Freeway. And that is everything that is dropping this week here in GTA Online, this upcoming weekly update. We have some new content, of course, the UFOs return, the Ghost Exposed event. We have some free rewards for the Ghost Exposed event, as well as GTA Plus members. We have a pretty cool weekly challenge with the Loon Over Cemetery Survival, which is also going to be double money. Same with Ghost Exposed. There's honestly a lot to enjoy this week. Once again, festive, spooky Halloween content. That's the theme for this month. Like I was saying before, this Halloween event even got started. Don't expect any crazy business money bonuses or property discount, because this month isn't focused on that, just like how next month probably isn't going to be focused on businesses as well. It's going to be ice month, so don't expect some business bonuses next month. The next time we're going to see that is going to be after the winter update comes. Icy might between now and then, but we're not going to have another solid month like we saw in August and the beginning of September with awesome business money bonuses. It's going to be a while before we get that. So if you're waiting for that, you probably need to be waiting a while, but that is everything coming this week here in GTA Online. Definitely some good stuff in store if you like the spooky Halloween themed content. We're going to wrap things up right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video here today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best GTA Online, Red Dead Online, and Rockstar Games content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and I will keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to
I swear this dude look like a bird from fucking Final Fantasy.
To get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you are more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HDTV. Again, all of my social media links can be found in my description box down below. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day.
Well, thank you, motherfucker. Oh, y'all just parlaying up in here. This the Momo. Y'all just chilling.
Oh, they're saying that Hurricane Milton. Come over this way. Now let's see. How much pain are you in?
That's the words that the news.
What? Then why are you here? I'm quite busy now, so if you're not here... Oh, Julio!
I believe Tampa's
I'll
governor.
deliver this letter, don't worry. Just goodness, no.
Just tell the people if they don't
Being
evacuate.
here quickly would be helpful.
It's gonna get serious. It's gonna get real crucial.
Sophia
Now,
worries
we have
over
yet to see
nothing.
what's gonna happen because it haven't happened yet.
Then check on the patients here. And in particular, if any are hearing things.
But we seen the damage that Hurricane Helene did. Particularly in North Carolina with the sundown towns, as well as certain parts of Tennessee, Florida. A lot of people couldn't do what they needed to do.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Or get what they needed to get.
Dr. Leonardus said if I'm the
And
person
now
who
you
was
got
next.
Hurricane Milton. What y'all thinking? Is it HARP weather modification going on right now? Or is the Most High bringing judgment to the planet?
Lately, I took...
A lot of people saying it's definitely HARP. Well, it seems that
Did you meet all the patients?
every time one of these
Did you check those who are hearing things? Oh,
something
really?
politically or geopolitically is affected.
Everyone has different symptoms, but it must be a plague. Can't you see the worst?
And it could be both.
Green medicine?
It could be
What
both.
are you talking?
I'm telling y'all right now that you gotta take heed to certain things. And I don't know if
A doctor named Leonardus of the clinic seemed to really dislike visits from outsiders.
but this is a
He
good time
permitted you to
for
help once you heard Sophia's name.
to
But
consider
all the patients' responses to your
where
questions
you're headed
seemed odd.
spiritually.
You asked about the green medicine they all mentioned, and Leonardus immediately became
It's a
angry
good time
and kicked you out.
to figure out what you should be doing in this time. I mean, this is all over the news, and if it hits, well, not even if it hits, when it hits, do you say to yourself, in case you get caught up and you're unable to get groceries, in case you get caught up in the floods, in case your home is knocked down and you're barricaded under a damn floorboard somewhere, do you say to yourself, you should have listened?
Oh, so you've been to the clinic? Well, really? Oh,
Now,
but what? Yes. I'll investigate.
time for people to get to the you know, just to be sure, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen.
Who's that?
All right, y'all. Man, oh man. Man. Oh, man. Jack, here's he knew exactly what was to this interview. We have to talk about it. How could we not? She said household names will be revealed, which is very, very interesting. If you've been paying attention to the news, something very similar was just said at a press conference in relation to additional charges against Diddy coming out of the city of Houston, which is very interesting given the fact that Jaguar Wright also mentioned Jay-Z.
As Sophia
and
suggested, you snuck into Leonardus' clinic at
You
night
don't understand
and saw
that
an
relation.
unexpected sight. The patients were gone, and the person
In a
watching the
second.
place attacked you.
Now,
You
first,
defeated him
let's talk
and
a little
discovered
bit
a
about
journal
Jaguar,
that
right?
contained a plan to
And
fake
then
an
we're going to watch the
epidemic
interview.
so as to
But here's
secretly
where
gather human sacrifices. According to the
I want to talk
journal,
about this real
this
quick.
blood ritual will be
You know,
held
a lot of
tonight.
people say Jaguar Wright is not credible. A lot of people are saying she's lost her mind.
Oh, you're a
There's a
step
lot
behind.
of, you know,
She was
stories
here a
coming out
moment
about
ago.
her getting arrested
Sophia's
and her getting
investigators
in,
returned
you know,
and
fights with
reported
her
their
husband. And
findings.
there
She
are a
looked
whole bunch of stuff is
furious.
coming out. And listen,
She
you
left
know,
this place to me
you
in
never
great
know.
urgent.
These are human beings.
She said she was
Human
going to
beings
the
can
wine
easily be
storehouse near
lying, but also
the Enter Vineyard. What's
very
wrong?
well be telling the truth. And it's interesting when you see people come out and start speaking about a
You
bunch of
go
different
to
things
the
that she's
wine
speaking on,
storehouse.
quote unquote,
Try to find
You
exposing the
hurried to the
industry.
plaza to tell
It's
Sophia what you had
interesting
found at the clinic.
what other things
But
start
she
to come
wasn't
out
there.
about said person
A
in an
resistance
effort
soldier in the
to
plaza
smear
said
that
Sophia
person's
had received a
reputation.
report from an
It's very
investigator
interesting.
and then
Like I
quickly
said,
gone to
I
the
don't
wine
know.
storehouse near
She could be
Greta Vineyard.
But she could be telling the truth. We'll find out, I guess, right? This is interesting. This is some appearances that Jaguar Wright has been on. So she's been in the industry. This is not like coming out of nowhere because she's been in the game. She's been in the industry. She's a singer. She's dropped multiple albums and EPs. She's been on a variety of different Jay-Z songs. Izzo, Takeover, Girls, Jiggle What, Jiggle Boo, Big Pimpin', Heart of the City, No Love, Can I Get a Hard Knock Life? Song Cry. Just to name a few. So she's been in the game, she's been around these individuals, she's been featured on these, songs, she's had a role in these productions. She's been in the industry, she's probably seen some things that the average person has not seen in relation to the industry. Now, she's also made some very interesting claims throughout the years. Now, I'm just going to read these and I'm going to let you have your own opinion about these claims. In August of 2020, she claimed that which was her boyfriend at the time, essayed her, which Common denied those allegations. In August 2020, she claimed that the Roots recruited underage girls with R. Kelly. In September of 2020, she claimed that Mary J. Blige is a lesbianist. In 2022, she claimed Diddy was behind the murders of Kim Porter, Andre, and Heavy D. This is probably one of the most craziest ones. In 2024, they're all crazy, but just the thought of this is insane. In 2024, May 2024, Wright accused 50 Cent of being in a sexual relationship. In May 2024, Wright claimed Nicki Minaj leaked audio of Meek Mill and Diddy doing sex. In May 2024, she claimed Justin Bieber and Otto Beckham Jr. were doing the same thing. In June of 2024, I'm not going to read that, but you can read it. In October 2024, she made claims to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Let's get into it. How bad was it, you think? What was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who's been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley.
Sophia! Who would do such a thing?
I come to find out 25 years later.
I got the message and came here.
What? Face with a very elaborate story.
The blood ritual?
Thereby a woman who he assaulted.
The blood ritual was really held here. The only way to cure her. So, there used to be people. I've heard that a vampire slayer, Jake Hander, leader of the Stone God. Please do. Find out Jake Hander.
You went to the wine storehouse, but you were too late to stop the blood ritual. Rutain said that if you kill the vampire who attacked Sophia, you prevent her from being turned into a ghoul. To do that, you need to borrow the Guardian's pledge belonging to a vampire slayer. Stone God Resistance leader Jake Hander had it.
That's happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations of the misogyny of the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music, and that clearly seemed to be borne out by these charges against he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Drew. I would never take a picture with him. Everyone knew he was the devil. people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected. He was a Lucian breach. He was selected to be
The Lord of Stone Guard, Fernin, an Archean ally, was famous for being a particularly harsh ruler. He would frequently order the deaths of castle workers, prompting many to flee for their lives. His reign of terror ended when the leader of the Stone Guard resistance, Jake Handler, arrived. He and his allies drove Fernin from the castle.
He's the Judas.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his drug addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protected
You're looking for Jesper, the master of accessories?
to be such
You've got some pretty good taste.
Still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. Just a mess.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my first-hand knowledge. It is my first-hand witness account experience.
Oh, snap.
I was a sex worker. I was an dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the silver world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important.
You're looking for Jesper, the master of accessories? You've got some pretty...
The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drinking, putting girls in abuse, and alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of, this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about, but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. The whole point of this, like William said when he sat with Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them in a coordinated effort to pretend like none of it is real for the public's perception. But everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's this Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We gotta stop making Diddies. And if we're gonna do that, then we gotta go back. We gotta go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically. And Clyde Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Clyde Davis is not here to respond to that. Jaguar,
Yes, there's vacation.
if this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think that the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think that could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew him. We used to all hang out together in the Kitty Cat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt in his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all goes back to Diddy, and everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tags
The war
So
will begin
before you
soon.
visit,
You're looking for arts
these
and
are
turners,
normal
aren't
practices that these
you?
people
You're not
do.
a typical adventurer, are you?
Check it out. I can relate to that. I really appreciate you meeting with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for caring.
I do care. So, let me go to so where is the part where she talked about the
So you want to know why there's no indication for me? Because for 40 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victimization machine kept going on.
Glad you're here.
Jay-Z is the line
I'll
of
make
sight
you
of
the
sense.
best armor in all of
Because
Philly.
Diddy, what do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. He forces everyone involved to carry more ice and spray out a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein,
They took this out of the interview.
Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Holmes have one person in common professionally.
Have you decided skills you will use on the battlefield?
Carter.
If you don't,
You know
the
the
This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
I'm very curious as to why that was taken out of the interview that was posted. This is coming out of Houston. Diddy lawsuit. Lawyer for more than alleged victims speaks. This was 6 weeks ago. My name's Tony Bosco. I'm a lawyer here in Houston.
I wonder if you're capable of wielding Hanzo's weapon.
I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. The audio's a little low. It sounds like it's only coming out of the left side. That's why it sounds a little bit low. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big, very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enable this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter, no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming to have been victimized.
I wonder if you're capable of wielding Hanzo's weapon.
We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against any other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we have received a small volume of calls and it screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who would otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed.
The war will begin soon.
Evidence.
Does my cooking
And
really
as is
not
always
taste
the case in situations like this, when a
Tastes
celebrity's
fine to
involved,
me.
people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence, to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. And there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. When I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of approach. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you've been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check videos, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive. But it is what it is, so we'll press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females.
Unfortunately,
60
what's good for
males
the
and
body
60
is better
females
to the
who
taste.
have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identifies African American, 30% are white, the remainder Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. Majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. I want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very broad. If you know, the issue spans from the years 1991 all the way to this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015,
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I use New York, the state of New York as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims, that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward is they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. There's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occur at parties, typically after parties.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body
Release
is
parties,
bitter to
New
the
Year's Eve
taste.
parties, 4th of July parties, something they call the puppy party, an all-white party. Although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct, in the promise of being made a star, in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape, or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred in private residences of people that we don't know. Some of this behavior occurred in hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reports, reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team, assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities, and I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested. And
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or tranq, which, based on our research, is known as a horse tranquilizer. Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file.
Phil's giving me more tranquilizer.
Brief second. I just seen a video. Did I save it? I saved it.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Okay, hold on.
You can do it better. Cheer up. You have a topic to
He's passed out on his face. There's a whole bunch of people around. He's sitting on some type of couch outside. There's a whole bunch of people around. Just passed out.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Could you imagine?
That nigga Diddy was running up in niggas, boy. That's nasty. Though. How you just randomly just pick motherfuckers you want to have sex with, like, just, and probably just raw dogging that shit, coming all in your shit. Just busting up all in your shit.
As a tool to extort and to silence and to manipulate. It's like, bro, if you're in that situation, you don't have any recollection of what took place. Because you're so out of it. Literally anything.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
It could have happened, and that's the heartbreaking part of it. I don't see any way. Clearly, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't see any way out of this for Diddy. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body
If that particular individual case is ready to be filed, they already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit. That is, those people that we watched misbehaving and did nothing. I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged, and egged it on. They know who they are. What's going on, man? It's your big brother Trey. You tuned in once again to another exclusive video, man. Don't click on this video, especially if you taste. I want you to know something, man. I want you to know this secret that I'm going to tell y'all women out there. And I want every woman that's watching this video to leave a comment after this video. Let me know what you think. Right? If you a guy out there watching this video, you know good and damn well everything I'm about to tell you, say in this video is true. Right? So let me just get away with it. Right? So anyway, first of all, since I'm a life coach, I get every single day. You know what I'm saying? Especially females, because you know I'm big brother. You know, I'm somebody that people can look up to and get some good sound advice, some good knowledge without judging them or without coming off
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Let's get women like that. Sad. Too grown for that shit. But anyway, listen. So I get these calls from a lot of women, and I gotta say, I got another call today from another female, and she's sick, and she just asked me the same question I always get asked all the time. She was like, "Big brother Trey." She was like, "Why don't guys approach me no more?" She was like, "I look good, sexy, you know, I'm getting my things together, you know, I got a little bit of money saved up." She was like, "But for some strange reason, man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if it's my energy that's not right." She said, "I tried to come off, you know, as polite and nice." She was like, "But some strange reason, big bro."
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Oh my jeez. Oh.
First and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and make this clear. Right?
Oh.
We're living in a time right now where everybody is awakening. Saying everybody's awakening to the bullshit that's been told to us for all these years. That shit. And people are sick and tired. They're sick and tired of not living the life they want to live. You feel me? And I'll be the first guy to admit. I mean, I'm pretty sure some guys can probably admit this, but
unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Intellectualism and just complete discernment and just smarts, just being smart all around. Females win in that category. First they admit, women are smartest. Man, if you don't know that shit. If you think you're smarter than a woman, you ain't even no real man yet. You're smarter than men. All the way around. Right? But she'll never act like that. She'll never. See, that's one thing about a woman that makes her the top priority. It's because she ain't dumb as a man. She know how to keep her mouth closed. You know what I mean? And keep things on the wrap. You know what I'm saying? She'll tell you a wrong face line and believe it. Same damn thing.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Women know how to keep their mouth shut. But some women don't. But listen, since that has been said, I will say this. Most men dumb as hell, man. Most men is dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, most men don't have a clue. Like, growing up, even I fell into this category. Like, when I was young, I didn't have my shit together like all the girls I dated. I mean, the majority of the girls that I dated growing up, me personally, from my experience, they had their shit together more than me. And, you know, I used to always wonder, like, damn, what they doing that I ain't doing? But that just goes to show you a woman can get her way.
Unfortunately, what's good for the body is bitter to the taste.
Chase, man, let me take answer this subscriber's question. Why would you ever not men approach my man? Okay, so once upon a time, ladies, that shit was like for us to approach a woman, it was normality. It was like before COVID, niggas was not even scared to stand next to each other. But after COVID, it's like when you get next to people and shit, they think you got a cooties and shit. Like it's over now. I went to this bar
few weeks ago, and I sat beside this couple. They moved a seat down from me. Like I had the boys or some shit. Like, so what I'm thinking is, bro.
Hello again.
Once upon a time, it was normal for men to approach women. That's what he had to do because social media was not the way it is today. So he had to take his chances, and he had to take his chances. He had to try, y'all, to try to shoot his shot. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, this was before social media became very, very normal, like it is now. Okay, so before social media came into play, if a man got turned down when he tried to shoot his shot at a woman, it is what it is. It is what it is. He got his confidence broken. He probably was pissed off for the rest of the day. Didn't holler at no chicks. Heartbroken. You know what I mean? The shit that men get heartbroken, be stuff like that. Heartbroken, spirit.
Who is it? Did you have business with me?
Because he got turned down by a chick like she didn't like to.
If it was strong enough,
shit like that.
once you activate the memories of guardian, Ezekiel's or her.
Some sealed door, temple of silver.
That shit hurt worse than any other thing in his life. Like breaking a man's confidence, disrespecting a man and breaking his confidence. Like he's not good enough for a woman. That's it. That's worse than a nigga trying to get shot. You know what I mean? Like niggas hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, guys hate that shit, bro. Guys hate being turned down by a woman that he really want to be with. Okay, so fast forward, moving forward.
The leader of Stone Guard's resistance forces was a cheerful man who felt somehow beast-like. Once you had explained the whole story, Jake lent you the Guardian's pledge of legendary vampire slayer Ezekiel. But he advised you to find the pledge loop containing Ezekiel's memories in the Temple of Selena to strengthen the Guardian first.
You know what I'm saying? So, y'all social media pages is popping way harder than any man's could ever pop. Because y'all got viewers, y'all got people looking at y'all for y'all looks, turning heads now. And most men know that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got like an Instagram. If you any type of social media person on the internet, and you see a page, you got a page, and you get a lot of attention on your page, you automatically will put you in the category right then and there. Especially if you figure it out after you get his number, he gonna put you in the category right then and there. That's a whole other topic of discussion. Now, I want me to discuss how to, if you're a woman and you know how to run your social media page without coming off, you know what I mean, with that type of impression. Y'all never know and let me know if you want me to make a video about that, because I will, but I'm just trying to make a different video today, see what y'all think about this. So now, since a man knows that women got options, because she always on her phone, he won't approach it no more. Because his chances of getting shot down are more likely now, because she got the instant gratification of getting on her social media, and it's probably some guys in her DM that's probably doing better than him, or look better than him. You know what I mean? Probably like a 6-figure nigga or something. In her DM, 7-figure dude in her DM that she really, really attracted to. And if she feel like this guy that's trying to holler at her in that moment ain't on his level, yeah, she was. You know what I'm saying? Because the guys, ladies, the guys are starting to understand that a lot of other chicks are making it very, very hard for y'all. That really he's trying to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of chicks is using that shit. That instant gratification and using it as an ego thing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to guys, they be trying to holler at you. So, that's the reason why a lot of guys is not hollering at chicks no more in public, because it's just simply because they're afraid of getting turned down, because they already know that she got like probably 50,
At the cliffs beside Stone Guard Castle, there is a huge underground temple built long ago. Before the war with the Lightbringer Society, it was the largest temple of Silibeth in Aden. The Great War with the Lightbringer Society resulted in the deaths of most of the Shadowlancers here. Now, only a few surviving followers remain to roam the halls.
Like, man, I'm really pretty. She might send some pictures. A lot of guys ain't approaching y'all. They don't approach approach y'all girls. He might come in there with a bum chick or something. Somebody that look normal. You be looking better than her. Y'all ever notice that? Excuse me. Y'all ever notice that you go out with a clique of girls? All y'all go out together, hang out together. There's 5 of y'all. All y'all some dime pieces.
This way.
All y'all baddies. Y'all got all the guys in y'all roster. But no guy in the public would never approach y'all. You know why? Because he already, like I said, he already know that if you looking that pretty, somebody is helping you be to feel that powerful. I'm just keeping it real with y'all, baby. Y'all I'm telling y'all the truth behind God's thing. I think that same way. When I see really hot, gorgeous girls, I see a really hot, gorgeous girl. Like I might not even see the ring finger. I might just see the symbol on the right side of the Scarlet, no! Immediately, already know she got a man. Immediately. I would say 9 times out of 10,
whoever it was,
she got a man.
I'll follow you to the end and tear you to shreds.
Girl has that much confidence in herself. She started to believe in herself like that. She looks that pretty because somebody done basically boosted her head up. You know what I mean? Somebody done boosted her head to make her feel like she the flyest thing ever smoking. You know, she don't got so many guys to tell her that shit. That she believe that shit now. She walking in that shit. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, that be the actual situation because when you look at her finger, it's a ring on it. You know what I'm saying? If you was to man, she would tell you straight off the bat, take it. You know what I'm saying? Even if she ain't got a ring, she gonna say, I'm taking it. She gonna say, I'm good. Or she gonna say, no, thank you. These are things that guys are used to when they get turned down. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm sorry. I got a bed. No, I thank you, but I'm fine. Like, that's what they used to. And like I say, ladies, when you tell a man that if you don't went out his way to take the initiative to approach you, he really like you. He really like you. Like she attracted to you. And, you know, probably people way that you think. But like I said, most guys ain't doing that no more because, like I say, social media done took it all over, man, to where everybody can get that thrill. They can get that little fix, that little drug, that little hit. They can get that little dopamine rush inside their DMs, inside their messages, with their pictures, with their comments, you know what I'm saying? So guys are just, most guys now, they rather just, you know what I'm saying, self-develop, chase their goals, chase their dreams, and not even focus on approaching girls because now he feels like he gotta be a man again. He gotta be able to be his shit now.
How did this happen?
The guys that she probably, you know, interested in that make way more money than him, and he don't want to be put down. He don't want to get turned down when he approaches. She be like, yeah, that's the worst thing a guy. Remember, girl, that's the worst thing a guy can experience. Is when you shoot him down after he shoot his shot. So he don't want to go through the day feeling like. He would rather not say nothing than get his confidence. All that shit he been working for it. He been in the jail working. He been at his job trying to get his money up. Trying to step his work. All that shit he working for. He will not, a man will not want to get his shit, his confidence taken away from him if he working hard for that shit. Aaron, remember, and I didn't say nothing to y'all. And that's why I feel for y'all. Y'all be like, yo, it ain't like the traditional thing. Like I said, when that becomes social media, man, it make people stay head up. It give people a big ego, man. You know what I'm saying? And it got a lot of people believing in some shit that ain't even fucking reality. It ain't even real. You know what I'm saying? It's social media, it make people think they're really like this popular person in real life, and then when you go in public, nobody will fuck with you. You know what I mean? Because in your mind, you think you got all these friends, like carrying this energy. Nobody's better than you when you walk in public. It's an energy you got on you. It's an egotistical, arrogant ass, prideful energy you got on you. Because you're getting a dopamine rush from your social media, which is an illusion. And then when you step into the real world, you think that illusion is the same thing as reality. It's not. And carrying this energy and this ego and this pride and this haughtiness
this happen?
Not to get my confidence taken away. I'd rather talk to a girl I like this, and I'm going to pretty down and have to spend all my money on her. That's what he did. That's why they don't. Just keep it real, y'all. You know, you might have one out of every. You might have one out of 50 guys that still got that. They still got that mentality, boys. They see somebody like.
How did this happen?
They can take an initiative. I mean, like that's how I am. I ain't never let someone even though I be on social media. I ain't never let that shit take over. Like, real life. Ain't nobody never in the car. Like, I still be doing real life made shit versus sitting in the house thinking that I'm this popular ass guy and I know like that. I be in the same in the streets.
How did this happen?
And I see all this stuff, and that's why I'm telling y'all, I know what I'm talking about, ladies. Like, y'all have that. If you have the same ladies, and you know you're a good woman, I'm just saying. Or you like, thank you all of that. You know what I mean? Thank you, nice. So good and so right. If somebody even comes to you and say that, you just automatically just you know what I'm saying?
How did this happen? Leonidas, you did it! Oh, Scarlet.
Like that, might get lucky if he got a paycheck or something. He just put the feeling himself. He don't give a damn. He just don't approach it. She just point, he got the bread. And most of the time, these guys, they already know most of y'all money. That's how they think. I mean, it might not be true. How they think, because this is how social media has created the image and perception of those women. It's like, it's created y'all to be money hungry and looking for a come up and trying to get from a man. And then, like I said, he got that bag and they can put that shit to the advantage because he knows that's what you want. I mean, because if you got a guy that's got that bag, he can use his money.
How did this happen?
So, this video ain't been nobody out there. I'm just Robert sent me. Hey, look, do me a favor, y'all. Like, you should make videos like this. If you like this video, because I'll start making more of these videos like this, man. Relationship shit, guys. That shit was better. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is it.
Fuck!
Turn it from me or nothing. It's a confidence.
How did this happen?
They get their confidence, bro. And they don't know what to show. I mean, especially if you got people like it. Like you talk about, man, don't want a woman that's been a man. No, like she's so much. A man so is nurturing, who's listening. If she moves him, then that means she listens.
What the fuck?
That's what a man stands for. She asked for me to tell you. And if a man sits that energy on you, I don't give a damn what you got on. I don't give a damn how bad you is. If he sits that shit on your energy, they can look at you. Listen,
how did this happen?
Whatever the case may be, look at automatically. Automatically guaranteed. In the back of his head, you know, he already knows. You're that type of chick he cannot wife. Because energy speaks for itself. So again, ladies, if you disagree with me, comment below. I want to know what you think. I want this shit to be an open discussion. And y'all don't be afraid to comment on other people's comments. If you haven't booked no session with me, make sure you book a session with me, because that's how I be coming up with these topics, because everybody be booking a session with me. I like to talk to them. Right? So, again,
So I gotta go straight across. I keep trying to jump to the side.
It's not approaching women because they dumbass is finally waking up to their own self-worth. And they ain't run, they ain't running from shit. Shit. Yeah, what it is. So, with that being said, man, make sure you subscribe to the video. It's your big bro Trey.
Damn!
How did this happen?
The biggest gaming leaks and news of the week. The PlayStation 6 is rumored to have made its first appearance behind closed doors at the Tokyo Game Show 2024. PS5 Pro is getting more love from fans and devs alike. Ubisoft has responded to growing speculation about a potential buyout by Tencent. Microsoft seems to be moving further away from focusing on the Xbox console as the key selling point, despite the light announcement of Halo UB5. Nintendo Switch modder who refused to shut down now takes to court against Nintendo.
Man, what the fuck? I ain't got no double jump.
By microtransaction this week. I jumped in Dead Space for the first time ever, and let me tell you, I don't think I'm going to finish it for obvious reasons. Why? It's too convincing and scaring the crap out of me. But what about you? Have you jumped into Dead Space yet, or are you playing something else? Like the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video launched yesterday. Alright, enough self-promotion. Let's jump in the first story of the day. Ubisoft has responded to growing speculation about a potential buyout by Tencent, clarifying that it regularly reviews all its strategic options, but hasn't confirmed any concrete plans at this time. The rumor surfaced after Bloomberg reported that Tencent, a Chinese tech giant with existing ties to Ubisoft, and the Guillemot family, who founded the company, are exploring ways to stabilize the publisher's value amid financial struggles. These speculations come on the heels of a sharp 19% drop in Ubisoft's shares, primarily caused by delays to major titles like Assassin's Creed Shadows and disappointing sales for Star Wars. Ubisoft's response doesn't shut down the possibility of a Tencent acquisition. It suggests that discussions, if any, are still in the early stages. For now, Ubisoft remains committed to exploring strategic options that benefit its stakeholders. Given the evolving landscape of the gaming industry, Tencent's interest could potentially lead to significant changes for Ubisoft, especially as the company navigates through its current financial difficulties. However, any confirmation of a buyout or major partnership will likely take time to unfold. Let's take a step back and look at the situation from a business perspective. In case you don't know, Tencent is massive in the gaming world. They own or have stakes in some of the biggest game companies out there. For example, they fully own Riot Games, the creators of League of Legends, which is one of the most popular games globally. They also own a huge chunk, 40% of Epic Games, the people behind Fortnite and the Unreal Engine, which tons of games are built on. But it doesn't stop there. They own most of Supercell, the makers of Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars, and they have smaller stakes in companies like Ubisoft and Activision Blizzard. On the mobile side, Tencent is a beast. Their studio TV makes games like Honor of Kings and Call of Duty Mobile, which are huge in China and around the world. They're also behind PUBG Mobile, which is a big deal, especially in Asia. In terms of money, Tencent is the top dog. They make more money from gaming than anyone else, pulling in over $30 billion just from gaming in 2023. And they have their hands in almost every corner of the industry, from game development to esports to live streaming. Basically, Tencent has a huge influence in the gaming world, both in the West and in places like China, and they're only getting bigger. If Tencent ends up buying Ubisoft, several things could happen, and it could have a big impact on both Ubisoft's games and the gaming industry as a whole. Tencent could inject the funds necessary to ensure Ubisoft can keep up with the competition. Ubisoft would likely get greater access to the Chinese market, which is huge for gaming. Tencent is the largest gaming company in China, and it knows how to navigate the local market and government regulations. We could see Assassin's Creed or Tom Clancy's games experiences similar to what happened with Call of Duty Mobile. Ubisoft already has games like The Division 2 and Rainbow Six Siege that operate as live service games, but under Tencent, there could be an even bigger push toward making more of their titles live service. In short, expect to see more booty in Assassin's Creed. Tencent would also fire at least 50% of Ubisoft's workforce, so it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, you got the fact that they will wipe all the wokeness and forced inclusivity from the games, and fire all those departments. But on the other hand, if you hate live service or microtransactions, well, they will double down on that. Just imagine, pre-order Assassin's Creed to get the Hidden Blade included in the game. It's been a wild ride for Halo, right? Microsoft is finally moving Halo's development over to Unreal Engine 5 after what feels like forever of rumors, restructuring at 343 Industries, and layoffs. Now,
What was his name
343 is
again?
rebranding as Halo Studios,
Ezekiel?
which seems to be a big move for the
I
franchise.
dispatched that
Feels
fool
like
a
fresh start
long
for
time
Halo,
ago.
especially since it's been in a bit of a tough spot lately. So here's the thing. They're dropping the Slipspace engine, the tech they used for Halo Infinite. That engine is a legacy system that was almost 25 years old. While it was tailor-made for Halo, it's become a burden on development, causing delays and inefficiencies. The team at Halo Studios had to spend too much time maintaining and fixing that engine instead of focusing on new games. Moving to Unreal Engine 5 with its modern capabilities is a massive deal. It's like a full reboot of their technology. What's exciting is how Unreal Engine 5 could transform Halo. Technologies like Nanny, which allows for superhuman performance, and Lumen, the next-gen lighting system, will let them build a more interactive and visually stunning world. The art director, Chris Matthews, is stoked about the potential for making a bigger, more immersive universe for players to explore. Something just couldn't do in Slipspace. They haven't committed to any new game announcements or release dates yet, but there's something called Project Foundry happening. It's not a game or a demo. It's more like a sandbox for them to test ideas and learn how to develop Halo. They're basically experimenting with this new engine to figure out how to build the future of Halo. Microsoft seems to be moving further away from focusing on the Xbox console as a key seller. Xbox and Halo and Gears of War, sure, they're major franchises, but the fact that they're also releasing on PC really dilutes the exclusivity that used to make Xbox special back in the day. Getting an Xbox and you have access to these games that no one else can play unless they own the console. That's where the issue lies for Xbox fans. Just real solid console exclusives. If they can't lock down games that are truly only available on Xbox, or at least for a good while, what's the real incentive to get the hardware? Even Game Pass, which is great on consoles, offers more value for less. You get a larger selection, sometimes better performance, and the flexibility to play wherever you want. So for someone like you and a lot of people, the logic becomes, why bother with the Xbox? Why just get these games on PC? Have better performance. In a world where games are destroyed by microtransactions and stupid DLCs, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a breath of fresh air. The fact that it features a master big middle finger to live service in my opinion. We have to pay $10 for skins of Mortal
and
Kombat
learned about
and
Ezekiel's
$40 for a
past.
DLC with 5 extra
Leonidas killed
characters.
Scala,
Additionally, players who pre-order the
Ezekiel's
game
teacher
receive a
and
bonus
lover,
character, Goku
and
Mini,
Ezekiel
making the
became a
total roster
legendary vampire
182
slayer,
characters for
out
those
to
with a
have his
pre-order
revenge.
bonus. This diverse
As
selection
Jake said,
includes characters
you could
spanning
tell
the
that the
entire
war
Dragon
was
Ball
becoming more
saga, Dragon Ball Z to
180?
Dragon Ball Super, with fan-favorite
Damn.
characters and powerful transformations available for battle. Few things in life bring as much hype as the world of Dragon Ball, and if there's one game series that has captured that energy perfectly, it's Budokai Tenkaichi. With the arrival of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, fans are in for a treat as the beloved franchise blasts back onto the scene, packed with the dynamic action, massive character roster, and heart-pounding battles we've come to love. One of the coolest new features in episode mode is the alternate story choices. You're not just watching Goku fight Raditz, you decide whether to team up with Piccolo or switch up the squad with Krillin and Master Roshi. These branching storylines give you the power to rewrite some of the most iconic moments, whether it's seeing Goku dodge Piccolo's special beam cannon, or witnessing totally unexpected alternate outcomes. Every fight brings potential twists that could change the way the story unfolds, making every encounter feel fresh and unpredictable. The PlayStation 6 is rumored to have made its first appearance behind closed doors at the Tokyo Game Show 2024. According to Russian journalist Anton Logvinov, Sony reportedly showcased a prototype of the next-gen console to select industry partners, which could explain the larger-than-usual attendance at the event. While Sony has not confirmed or denied this, it has fueled speculation that the PlayStation 6 is further along in development than previously thought. Details are scarce, with no information on whether games were demonstrated on the hardware or if it was purely a technical briefing. This potential early reveal comes as Sony celebrates the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, with special edition PS5 Pro and PS5 Digital Edition consoles rolling out soon. The absence of an official PlayStation 6 announcement
While
means that
being
for
bitten
now,
by a
all eyes are
vampire,
on future
Ezekiel
events,
was
like
saved by
CES
Scala, the
2024.
monster hunter.
Fans hope to get more concrete information on what the next generation console will offer. Aside from hardware
Despite
development,
now
Sony
becoming a
also
half
found itself in
vampire,
the center of new California legislation
Scala
aimed at
trained him to
protecting
become a
consumers' digital
vampire
rights.
hunter.
The new law, AB 2426, sponsored by Assemblyman
Scarla would later be killed by Baron Leonardus, a powerful vampire lord.
Consumers that they could lose access to those items at any time.
Ezekiel vowed to avenge her.
Announcement in late 2023 access to digital content from Discovery Channel that users
Over the course of decades, Ezekiel became a legendary vampire slayer. He found Leonardus and began a fight to the death.
Has finally been revealed, offering a fresh
But
take on the
Leonardus was
franchise.
too
Set in
strong.
1603,
At death's door,
after the events
Ezekiel
of
used the last of his strength to draw a magic circle of blood and place a guardian's pledge in its center. With his soul now infused in the pledge, Ezekiel became a guardian, protecting others from vampires.
Given the slower reload times and scarcity of ammunition historically associated with Tanegashima, it is likely that players will need to balance their use of the firearm, relying on it for specific scenarios.
Ezekiel lost the battle to Leonardus, vowed an oath to get revenge, and became a guardian. With the power of the Guardian's pledge, Ezekiel encountered Leonardus again, and finally repaid him for what happened to Scarla.
Exactly what the franchise needs to evolve. With a 2025 release date on the horizon, more details are expected to emerge in the coming months, including further insights into how the game will balance traditional and modern combat styles. So, Nintendo is suing this guy Ryan Daly, who supposedly runs a company called Modded Hardware. What Modded Hardware allegedly does is sell tools and hardware that let people hack their Nintendo Switch. Once a Switch is hacked, people can download and play pirated games, basically getting games for free without paying Nintendo. And it's not just the tools. They claim Daly's company also directly gives out pirated Nintendo games, which is a huge no-no. Nintendo first caught wind of this earlier in 2024 and gave Daly a chance to stop. They sent him a warning in March, and both parties agreed that Modded Hardware would shut down. But instead of closing up shop, Daly just kept doing his thing. Nintendo gave him another warning in May, but he still didn't stop. That's when Nintendo decided to file an official lawsuit in federal court, because from their perspective, Daly wasn't listening. In the lawsuit, Nintendo basically says that Modded Hardware makes pirating Nintendo games possible. They argue that without these hacked consoles and tools, piracy wouldn't be as widespread as it is. For example, if you buy one of these hacked consoles from Daly's company, it might come with a bunch of pre-installed games like Super Mario or Zelda. The lawsuit claims this is a major problem, not just because of the pirated games, but also because it helps illegal marketplaces thrive. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Daly is representing himself in court, no lawyer, which is almost never a good idea in big cases like this. His main defense is basically just saying, I didn't do it, or I don't know enough to respond, and even claiming he doesn't actually run Modded Hardware at all. He's throwing out a bunch of legal defenses too, like fair use and invalid copyrights, but that's going to be tough to pull off without legal representation. Nintendo has a strong history of winning cases like this. They've taken down emulators, like the GameCube Wii emulator Dolphin, and file-sharing sites like ROM Universe, which had to pay Nintendo millions in damages. They're known for being relentless in these legal battles. So, the odds aren't looking great for Daly, especially since he's up against one of the most successful companies in video game history, and without a lawyer. This lawsuit is still ongoing, and it's in the discovery phase, where both sides gather evidence. But if history repeats itself, Nintendo might win this one too, and Daly could face huge financial penalties, like others who tried to mess with Nintendo's IP before.
latest moves this morning. It is now tearing up Florida's east coast as a weakening, dangerous Category 1 hurricane. Massive system put ashore last night as a Category 3 storm, dousing the state's Gulf Coast and spotting more than a dozen tornadoes yesterday. This morning, we know that 4 people in St. Lucie County on Florida's Atlantic coast have died as a result of those tornadoes. And take a look at this. That's where the Tampa Bay Rays play. Completely ripped to shreds. At the middle felt in real time by our own Tom Yamas last night. Watch this. The situation here in Sarasota is moving toward dire. At first, yes. President Biden offering these powerful words to Floridians still stuck in the path of destruction. Evacuation's probably difficult, so I encourage people to look for safer shelter. Sometimes
You can change into a vampire? That's crazy.
you've got your back.
That's mad crazy.
Millions of people are waking up in the dark as communities across the state start the long road. We are covering up from all angles this morning. In just a moment, we'll be talking with Chief Melanie Bevan of the Bradenton, Florida Police Department. That's just south of Tampa on the Gulf Coast. Also, NBC News' Priscilla Thompson, who's in Orlando for us. But first, let's check in with NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra, who's on the ground in Tampa, Florida. Marissa, good morning. Tampa was battered with dangerous winds. Lots of rain has built board ashore last night, ripping off roofs of major structures, suspending emergency response services for a time. Tell us what you're seeing there this morning. How bad was the storm surge, and how bad is the flooding concern?
Hi, Joe. So I can tell you right now that the sun is just starting to come up. We are just starting to get those images pouring in from around the area to give us a sense of what's really happening. And it is not safe for us to be traveling out. So at this moment, I've not been able to see for myself, but I can tell you I've spoken to Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. I can tell you I've spoken to folks in St. Petersburg Fire and Rescue. We know that there were several people that were in need of rescuing. We know there was a tree that fell on a home nearby. We know that there were water rescues and still are happening in Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. We know that Tropicana Field, that roof came apart. You might have seen those images. We know that there were people inside. Of course, we are still working on confirming more details, Joe.
Marissa, thank you so much. You and your crew, please continue to stay safe out there. Let's go to NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson, who's in Orlando as the storm continues its path east. Priscilla, good morning. Just tell us what you have been seeing and hearing this morning.
Yeah, Joe, as you can see, the rain is still coming down here, although much lighter than what we saw overnight. You're not seeing the trees swaying like they were overnight here as those wind gusts have died down, but it was coming down heavy in the early morning hours as the storm really bore down here in Orlando. We clocked wind speeds of up to 81 miles per hour out of Daytona Beach, about an hour from here. And we have seen this morning there was a big fire. First responders and emergency crews had to shelter down there back in doing rescues in some areas throughout this county that have started to flood. And of course, that was the big flood here. It was big flooding. We were looking at potentially up to 14 inches of rain here. I will tell you the good news is that we have been looking at these roads near here, and we are not seeing that devastating flooding, but certainly that is not the case everywhere. But officials here do tell us that they have not seen any major injuries, so certainly some good news there as well.
That is good to hear, but just the fact that you're seeing rescues in Orlando, in Orange County, in Central Florida, tells you just how massive this storm was. It's a good distance away from the Gulf Coast. Residents there, are they listening to the emergency warnings? Are they taking the necessary precautions even now when the warning is don't go out on the streets, beware of power lines, beware of downed trees?
Yeah, it seems so. We certainly haven't seen people out in the streets here. And even in talking to residents yesterday, they were saying that they had been sandbagging, that they were preparing to hunker down. And important to know that this is a tourism area, right? You've got these two major theme parks, Universal and Disney here, which close for the month. There are also tourists who are here sheltering in resorts. And so we saw videos of some of those folks literally running in through the rain last night But given that they're not reporting any major issues, it appears that people have heeded the warnings. They were staying in last night. I just heard a car going by behind me just now, so it is possible that people are starting to get out on the roads as the sun comes up. But of course, as you mentioned, officials are urging people not to do that so that they can get out to people who may need to be rescued and work to clear some of these roads and of course get power restored, because we're talking about more than 3 million people across the state without power, including many folks where we are here in Orlando.
Priscilla, talk about what you experienced last night. You weren't on the shore, you weren't on the coast, but were there still heavy winds? Were you still seeing a lot of rain?
Yeah, so we were up until that is when the rain was starting to come down heavier. We were feeling the winds picking up, and there was a loud crack of thunder, and then the power went out before the bulk of the storm even moved through. I will tell you, it wasn't the type of situation where I was not able to get a couple of hours of sleep last night because of how loud things were. But certainly when we got up this morning, you could hear the wind still whistling a little bit, even as that storm was moving away from us. So it was an intense situation, but it appears that people here, for the most part, have remained safe. There was a flood watch in effect here until about 4:30 in the morning, or flood warning. That is now a flood watch. So it appears that we're in the clear, but not totally out of the dark just yet, especially with that flooding, which we knew was going to be the potentially big and potentially deadly issue here.
Yeah, across Florida right now, more than 3 million people are without power, including many where you are right now. Do we have a sense of how quickly they need to restore power, and what are some of the measures in place in the meantime for people who need power for various reasons, whether it's hospital or other reasons?
Yeah, that is always the big question. When is power going to be restored and things like that? The good news is it seems like a lot of folks in the area where we are have generators. Even the hotel we're staying at has been able to keep the lights on in the hallways and keep a kitchen running here. And we know that throughout the state they brought in more than 1,000 generators, 700,000 liters of water, and there are also thousands of linemen who are already in the state ready to get out and begin restoring that power as soon as it is safe to do so. Of course, one of the things that's going to be key here is allowing those crews to get on the roads, to clear the debris, to begin assessing the damage, all of that. And they cannot do that if there are a ton of people on the roads looking to survey the damage for themselves. So a word to the wise for those folks like us who are without power, who are looking to get those kind of things restored. It is probably going to be most helpful if you focus on staying home, not being on the road, so that the people who need to get out and do that work can do that.
Thank you so much. Great to Florida is just south of town. Eastern Melanie Bevan joins us now with more from what is experiencing in the wake of Bill Legacy. You are out and about right now. Tell me what you're seeing now today. Laser is starting to break in the air.
Well, we actually started deploying officers when it was safe enough, when the winds dropped to about 40 miles an hour, maybe around 2 a.m. They got out there with chainsaws and straps and chains and started trying to get some of these trees out of the road to make it passable for some of our other first responders, people needing help. And we did that because of what's happening behind me. Needs to stay home, give us a chance to make the country safe. Nobody's listening to. Some people are coming up, the folks behind me. My work is if you can just get us day and day until these get some basic ways clear, that can get us.
Is the damage as bad as the fear?
It's not like spent 40 years in this place. State, you know, back the trees, you split fire, neighborhoods completely devastated. That's how I was seeing those winds. They were strong. But we've seen now trees, benches, things, but no true destruction to any of our homes and businesses. It appears it's a very storm. It's just going to take time, and it's really going to consist of a lot of debris clearing.
Here today, friends on the stage figured maybe more than 60% of the city was without power. Do you have a better handle on the situation right now?
concern when you got people playing with generators and gas. I know that we have our first in teams out. They're trying hard to start restoring power. But again, as I'm standing here, this camera, cars are racing by. There's no emergency that is more important than getting things cleared up and making our roadways safe so that everybody can make it to their homes.
What is your message? Those cars racing by right now, I have a feeling that this interview is going to go. You stand on the street, they don't have a message face to face that goes, what is it you want people to know more out there right now? Because one of the biggest worries is that we maybe haven't seen many injuries or fatalities in your area right now, but we could see that now with down power lines or with some of the debris in the road.
Yeah, we have a lot of traffic lights that are dangling, and I'll tell you, people's tempers are short. Some of them get on shelters, people are tired, but some of this driving out here is reckless. This wagon can get you hurt. That's my message to them.
All right, Chief, we thank you for your time this morning. We'll continue to check in with you as you continue to clean up and able to eat that morning. Chief,
He must be somewhere. Hey, are you trying to climb up here?
That's just outside of Sarasota. During our live coverage last night, NBC News senior national correspondent, he was now anchored to the U.S. News Guide and actually run for cover. It's after a transfer of schools passing through the area. They're saying these images are showing the impact of the storm. I'm joined to start from Sarasota. The devastation is on the high topic. Hey, Joe, good morning to you. Now that the sun is out, we're getting a better sense of some of the damage around the Sarasota area. It doesn't look too severe from what we've seen so far, but again, it's still very early. The sun's just
My bag falls somewhere. Damn it.
There is glass as far as the eye can see because a glass balcony shattered on one of these high-rises here in Sarasota, apartment and hotel complex. It's all over the ground. People are coming out here. They're trying to assess the damage, see what's going on. It's still a little dangerous. Small complex of kids in some cases here. It's just huge glass. Mayors across the state are asking people to stay inside. And it's friends, right? The mayor of Tampa saying she's worried about the people's money. Now that there's high tide in Tampa, starting at 7 a.m., they're pushing to so they're concerned about that. And we're still getting a damage assessment from the hurricane that we know that the tornado damage was destructive and deadly in parts of Florida. There's nowhere to escape last night, Joe. I did a lot of Florida. You're either getting hit with those hurricane force winds, you're getting hit with the storm surge, or the tornadoes were popping up and taking you by surprise. I spoke with the sheriff of St. Lucie County yesterday, who was telling us that his men and women, his brave men and women, were digging through rubble to try to rescue people and pull people out of the tornado damage as they were also facing the storm conditions from Hurricane Milton. It just gives you a sense of what people were dealing with there, too. Wilder report for us this morning. Let's take a look at that. This morning, our storm Florida is waking up to another disaster. Hurricane Milton slamming into Florida's Gulf Coast overnight. A Category 3 hurricane when it roared ashore near Siesta Key, bringing catastrophic storm surge and drenching rain to the region. Water quickly rising, flooding roads and submerging entire neighborhoods, even sparking house fires. St. Petersburg hit with more than 18 inches of rain, intense wind topping 100 miles per hour, causing a dramatic symmetry. Which was supposed to house first responders. Ripping through the stadium, chunks of the
You're here. Thank you for coming. Oh, you see, I explored I think they lead to... Thank you so much. Again, when according to local... Oh, and when you...